Speaking of beaten up by the mob story,
Mm.
do you know the one about Sammy Davis?
How we
Because-
lost the eye?
Well, no, maybe that was the same thing. No, I thought it was a car accident, wasn't it?
Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing I'm referring to is he met a white girl. I think she was an actress. I think she was kind of semi-famous.
Yes, it was
Brit something or
Brick Eklund.
no,
No, not Brick Eklund.
May Brit, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
A blonde white girl.
Yeah.
And this is what I've heard. The mob told him, like, either you're going to break this off tonight, or we're going to kill you.
Right.
Why it was their business to enforce racism, I don't know, but I guess they took it seriously. And that night, he, on stage, proposed to one of his African-American backup singers to solidify his commitment to living.
I don't know.
You've heard? You never heard that?
I work with him. Did you ever work with him?
No, I saw him once, and it was awesome.
The greatest entertainer ever. I mean,
Yeah.
he could act.
Oh,
I saw him on
funny.
a Twilight Zone where he played, those half-hour ones, and he was the little guy, and everybody made fun of him and so and so and so in the army, So one of the guys say, "Hey, let's screw with him," So they had a fake hand grenade, and they threw it on the ground in front of him, and he jumped on it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To save all.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, that was the start.
I see.
But he played it so well. It was just gut-wrenching, because these guys just trash him, dump water on his head, and just always messing with him. He had great empathy.
Even when they thought they were just being funny, I mean, one of the things that Dean Martin used to do when they were on stage together, the Rat Pack, him and Frank and Dean, is that he would lift Sammy up, who of course was diminutive.
Right.
And say, thank you for this NAACP award.
Right.
Which today would probably not be the
That would not be.
For the double of short and
he was
race.
The greatest guy. If you work with Sammy and you said, it's a beautiful watch, he'd give it to you. I mean, he was that kind of guy. He traveled, when I worked with him, every place he went became his house. So he brought his Barker Lounger chair, his 119 photos, put them on the wall of every dressing room he worked in. Like, we would do Harris for a week. You go into his room, it was his den at home. You have all the pictures, him and Sammy and all the guys. And
it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean about people in show business are insane.
Well,
it's an insane thing to do for a week.
You have to understand, though, when he was with the Will Masson Trio, he's always been a performer since he was a little kid.
Yeah, a little kid.
So you lived on the road. You're like gypsies, that was your house. So you brought all your personal things with you. So when he put all those pictures on the wall, he went home every night.
Yeah, but now he's not a child. And he's not on the road all the time.
Well, he was. How old do you think he was when he died?
64.
I know, isn't that unbelievable? When I was a kid, it was like, well, that seems about right, 60.
It's funny because I used to do a bit back, like when he died in the 90s, about basically, as I have often, defending libertarianism and doing drugs if you want to, not basing how we should make drug laws based on the people who fuck up with it.
Right.
If that's your choice. And I said, Sammy Davis lived that kind of life, drank drugs, and lived to 64. And I used to say, give me 64 Sammy years, then 100 Ken Starr years, or some Republican like that.
Right.
Then I got to be 64, and I was like, well...
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, let me finish.
Yeah. But he was a wonderful human being. He's a great guy. He just, remember him hugging Nixon, and then...
So what?
I know, but at the time he was seen as a traitor.
It's so funny you mention that, because like today we live in this time when you're not allowed to have friends from the other side or cross lines politically. And I forgot that there's an example of that way back when.
Yeah.
A guy who crossed lines politically. Ooh, the worst thing you could ever do, be friends with a Republican? Call 911.
Yeah.
This is what I fucking hate about the left. Like, you know, and they're not going to get me over to the Trump side, which they think they will sometimes, but just the idea that, you know, cut your family off for Thanksgiving if they voted for the wrong guy.
Well, yeah.
Fuck off, you fucks.
Well, I don't know.
And
Anyway.
Sammy,
Yeah.
but when he hugged Nixon, he was ostracized
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
by the left a lot. That was an
was.
early harbinger of that.
Because you also had Black Panther, and you had that whole movement
Black
going
Panther.
on. The Black Panther movement was very big on college campus and stuff at that time.
72 is this?
Yeah, 71,
Right.
72. Yeah.
But I remember what Sammy said at the time when they asked him about the Nixon thing, which was he went through like his economic achievements. The Nixon administration was not an unsuccessful administration before Watergate. And said, you know, you got to go with the man who has results. Now, I don't remember exactly what the economy was with Nixon. I was 13. But that attitude, that idea, I admire so much, as opposed to the virtue signaling and the stuff that they do just to make themselves feel better about being ally. You know what? You want to be a good ally? Address the actual problems. Any racial problem in this country is not addressed by DEI and having programs like that. It's three things, and John McWhorter, the great African-American writer, names them. You know, better schools, don't graduate kids who don't know anything and have no skills, more dads, and the drug war. Those are the practical things, and that's not what they care about talking about.
Right.
So, Sammy Davis, here's to you. Hey everyone, I'm on Substack now. Check it out and subscribe now at billmaher.substack.com. What could be simpler than that? My name, then .substack.com.